Time Cage, our 0001 movie world, June 6th, 2014. At exactly 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Fan Fonzie sat in front of the computer and trembled all over. Here is Fan Fonzie looked around, a flash of doubt in his eyes. Although he had now identified the surrounding environment as his bedroom, Fan Fonzie always felt that something was wrong. He vaguely felt that this should not be the case. It's weird. Fan Fonzie frowned, got up from the ergonomic chair, and walked towards the living room. In the living room, Fan Fonzie carefully looked at the small furnishings on the coffee table, the layout of the sofa, and even the opening and closing status of the toothpick box. After careful observation, Fan Fonzie confirmed that there was nothing wrong with all the arrangements and furnishings. They were indeed his own habits, but he still felt an indescribable awkwardness. If I had to say what this awkward feeling is like, it would probably be when I suddenly walk out of an air-conditioned room and be surrounded by hot air in the summer. Fan Fonzie has a similar feeling now. Everything felt wrong to him. What on earth is going on? Fan Fonzie said to himself, then took out his mobile phone and dialed a number. After waiting for the other party to answer, Fan Fonzie spoke first. Junior Brother Shah, where are you? I'm at work. Is there anything wrong? Pung Fong, nicknamed Junior Brother Shah, asked. Fan Fonzie was silent for a few seconds before speaking. Do you still remember my first girlfriend? Ah, Pung Fong was stunned for a moment. Damn it. Second senior brother, what's going on with you? It's okay, I'll hang up first. Fan Fonzie replied casually and hung up the phone. Fan Fonzie sat on the sofa and turned on the TV. The news is playing on the TV. In view of the recent abnormal situation in the Bermuda Triangle, major airlines have canceled relevant flights. The specific reasons are not yet clear. Professor Chu, what do you think about the abnormal situation in the Bermuda Triangle? There have been various legends about the Bermuda Triangle since ancient times. My personal guess about the abnormal situation in the Bermuda Triangle this time is that the magnetic field is chaotic, which leads to the navigation failure of aircraft and ships. Professor Chu said eloquently. Fan Fonzie looked at the news and frowned again. This news gave him a feeling of déjà vu, as if he had been somewhere before and felt familiar when he saw it again. Why do I feel like this? Fan Fonzie murmured to himself. He got up and walked to the bedroom to look up the Bermuda Triangle on the internet to see if he could remember more things. Fan Fonzie searched the internet for information about the abnormal situation in the Bermuda Triangle. After some inquiries, Fan Fonzie discovered that there were abnormal situations not only in the Bermuda Triangle, but also in China. For example, abnormal situations have occurred at the Gate of Hell in Kunlun Mountain, Mahundang in Walla Mountain, and Lop Nur. These three areas were originally rumored forbidden areas, and now a series of abnormal situations have occurred, including sudden dense fog, satellite detection failure, navigation failure, electromagnetic communication interruption, etc. Even the detection robot connected by cable will lose control if it enters an abnormal zone. There are all kinds of speculations about this situation on the internet, including such messy theories as invasion from another world, invasion from aliens, invasion from another dimension, etc. Fan Fonzie checked all kinds of information, and a flash of inspiration suddenly flashed in his mind, but it was always blocked by the fog and couldn't see clearly, just like seeing flowers in a fog. What happened? Fan Fonzie suddenly felt a sharp pain in his head, and he couldn't help but wailed. After almost 3 minutes, the severe pain disappeared, and Fan Fonzie was already soaked with sweat. Fan Fonzie lay on the floor with a pale face. The severe pain almost made him faint. He gasped for air to calm down the pain. After nearly 3 minutes, Fan Fonzie calmed down slightly. He tentatively thought to himself, "System? Hello, host. The Transcendent System is officially at your service." A sound similar to electronic synthesis sounded in Fan Fonzie's heart. Beyond the system, what's your role? Fan Fonzie asked key questions. The core function of the system is to assist the host to transcend time and space and achieve eternity. Beyond system response. How to transcend time and space? Fan Fengxi asked again. The transcendent system responded, there are many roads that transcend time and space. The system is integrating into the current time and space. Please wait patiently. Once the system integration is completed, the host will be provided with corresponding strategic plans. The severe pain just now was a side effect of integrating into the system. Fan Fengxi asked. Beyond the system gives an affirmative answer. Yes. It has just transcended the system and merged into the host's soul, becoming the host's soul mark and completely becoming a part of the host. Even if the host dies, even if the host's soul is crushed, even if some indescribable existence takes away the host's soul and the mark of the transcendent system will still be reborn again with the help of void fire. Doesn't that mean I am immortal? Fan Fengxi grasped the key points. Theoretically, yes, but the host, please be aware that once the host truly dies, if the situation is too extreme, the host's resurrection time will most likely be based on 100 million years as the time unit. Beyond the system reminded Fan Fengxi. At the same time, after the death of the host, the system cannot retain the characteristics related to the host's body. Therefore, the host is asked to pay special attention. If death can be avoided, the host must avoid death. Beyond system reminders. By the way, system, I encountered a strange thing now. Can the system analyze it? Fan Fengxi quickly expressed his doubts, including his feeling that he was out of tune with the entire world. Please wait, host. The system is analyzing the corresponding information. Warn. Scan to the time cage. Warn. It was scanned that the host has been marked by the time cage. Warn. It is detected that the time cage exists in order. Warn. Abnormal fluctuations in the host's time river were detected. Fan Fengxi saw a series of warning messages in his mind, and he quickly asked, what is a time cage? What does orderly existence mean? And what does the abnormal fluctuation of my time river mean? Beyond the system response, the time cage can be simply understood as a kind of cage, but its cage fence is time. The so-called time cage that exists in an orderly manner means that this time cage is an unnatural item made by some kind of intelligent creature. The host time river has abnormal fluctuations because the host has been marked by the time cage and is trapped in the time cage. The host feels out of tune with the world and even feels familiar with news about various abnormal situations. That is because the host has traveled through time in the time cage. The transcendent system responded to Fan Fengxi. You mean I am a time traveler? Fan Fengxi was extremely shocked. Our 0002 passive time traveler. In the living room, Fan Fengxi was shocked by the theory of the transcendent system. According to the transcendent system, isn't he a traveler who has traveled through time? Yes, the host did travel through time. Beyond the system confirmed Fan Fengxi's guess. Based on the system's retrieval of the fluctuations in the host time, the host is a prisoner of the time cage and a passive time traveler. Beyond the system explains the situation. The host feels out of tune with the world and also has a vague sense of familiarity with some information. That is because the host has the talent of real-time perception, which causes the time retrieval of the time cage to not fully affect the host's soul, so that the host's soul retains part of its memory. Beyond systematic, detailed explanations. Fan Fengxi listened to the explanation beyond the system, and his heart sank secretly. I am a prisoner, so who belongs to this time cage? Sorry, host, the system does not store enough lives to pry through the mists of time to see the truth. Beyond system response. Destiny. Fan Fengxi was confused. In different civilization systems, destiny has different names, including fate, karma, determination, and so on. According to the technological world where the host is located, fate can be understood as cause and effect. The transcendent system explains the situation. Fate is the most important resource of the system. If it has enough fate, the host will be able to reverse all fate. The transcendental system explains the importance of destiny. Fan Fonzie immediately asked, then how do you get your destiny? Reverse fate. The transcendent system gave the answer. If the host can reverse the originally constant fate, it can obtain the corresponding fate. Reversal of fate? Fan Fonzie became confused again. How can I reverse my fate? Beyond the system's response, according to the host's understanding, the host can understand that the system will integrate the host into the world of certain movies. Is the movie world changing the fate of the movie world? Fan Fonzie asked further, is the movie world a real world or a virtual world? What is real and what is virtual? According to the scientific research of the world where the host is located, the currently known range of the universe is 93 billion light years. This range is indeed very huge. But if 93 billion light years are reduced to a diameter of 9.3 centimeters, has the host ever thought about what is beyond the known universe? Ask beyond the system. If the universe is compared to a ping pong ball, are there other ping pong balls outside the ping pong ball? And what holds these ping pong balls? The beyond system asked again with an example. Fan Fonzie was silent. He could not answer this question. Take the wave-particle duality of light as an example again. When it is not observed, it exists in the form of a wave. It can exist in multiple places at the same time, but when it is observed, it becomes a particle again. The famous double-slit interference experiment and delay experiment illustrate this problem. So how does light know that it is being observed? Beyond the system gives another example. The world is the world. Warn. The system scanned that the time cage was going back in time. In order to protect the host, the system urgently opened the door to the world and transported the host to a movie world. The transcendent system suddenly issued a prompt. What world? Fan Fonzie asked. But the transcendent system had no time to respond to Fan Fonzie. Fan Fonzie only felt that after a moment of trance, he appeared in a dark alley. Here it is. Fan Fonzie secretly asked the transcendent system. He was still in his living room just now, and now he appeared in a dark alley. According to what the transcendent system said before, he is definitely not in the original world now. Please wait a moment. The system is retrieving information about the current time and space. Please host to pay special attention to protect yourself. Beyond system response. Fan Fonzie was secretly vigilant. He was now in an unfamiliar environment and really needed to pay attention to safety. While waiting to transcend the system, Fan Fonzie stood in the shadows and looked at the situation outside the alley. The appearance of the car is very old. The architectural style of the house is also full of a sense of age, and the English spoken by passersby. Could it be that they have traveled to an English-speaking country in the past? Fan Fonzie quickly analyzed. The override system emits a beep. Tell the host good news. The system has officially determined the detailed information of the current time and space. It is now February 2nd, 1984, Los Angeles, United States. The transcendent system narrates the situation. After systematic scanning, there is no supernatural power in the current time and space, which is very beneficial to the host. The Beyond system adds a piece of good news. Fan Fonzie complained, what the hell is supernatural power? Naturally, it is the power imagined in the host's mind, magic, fighting spirit, internal strength, and even immortality. Because of the time cage, when the door to the world is open for the first time, the system cannot independently control the destination world. Now, entering a technologically oriented world is very beneficial to the host's early development. Explain the situation beyond the system. But the host must be reminded of the bad news. The host has entered another time cage. Beyond the system comes bad news. Fan Fonzie was unable to complain. Host, please rest assured that this time cage is a time logic cage. It does not exist in an orderly manner, but is a natural selection of the long river of time. After systematic matching, the current world is the world of Terminator 1 in the host's memory. Beyond system reminders. Fan Fonzie quickly recalled the plot of Terminator 1 And it took him a few minutes to remember the general content. The male protagonist, Reese, of Terminator 1 is a time traveler. He is the father of the future human leader, John Connor. He accepted the order of John Connor to travel through time and return to 1984, and thus combined with Sarah Connor. And finally, John Connor was born. There is a logical contradiction here. Without John's order, Reese would not take the time shuttle back to the past, and naturally there would be no John. But without Reese traveling back in time, there would be no John, let alone John's orders. So this is a temporal logic cage. Why have we entered the time cage again? Fan Fongxi has a headache. Now that he hears time cage, he feels poisonous. Because the host is marked by the time cage, even if it leaves the original world under the impetus of fate, when the system cannot intervene in the choice, the host is captured by other time cages in endless time and space, beyond system response. Host, please rest assured. Once the host accumulates enough lives, it can escape from the time cage with the help of the system. Beyond system's supplementary instructions. How many lives are there left now? Fan Fongxi asked. The host, please check it yourself. After surpassing the system reply, the relevant information was displayed in Fan Fongxi's mind. Host, Fan Fongxi. Number of lives, 19. Strength, 8. Agility, 8. Constitution, 9. Spirit, 22. Remark. The maximum four-dimensional data of ordinary humans is 10 points. T0003, welcome to the world of Terminator. My spiritual attributes are so high. Fan Fongxi looked at his four-dimensional attributes. According to the notes, the highest four-dimensional attributes of ordinary humans are 10 points, but his mental attributes are as high as 22 points. The Transcendence system responded, because the host has the talent of real-time perception, and coupled with the fusion of the Transcendence system and the host's soul, the host's spiritual attributes have been greatly improved. Understood. Fan Fongxi said he understood. By the way, system, what should I do now? Sorry, host. The system cannot make decisions for the host. The host can do anything, but the host must be reminded that the current host is very weak. So please be careful. Beyond system response. By the way, I would like to remind the host, please try to get more lives and obtain more resources. Otherwise, the host may become trapped in this world. Beyond system reminders. How many lives do I need to leave this world? Fan Fongxi asked. At least 100 points can open the door to the world. But in order to ensure the safety of the host and choose the next world, it is best for the host to get more lives. Beyond the system answer. Okay, I understand. Fan Fongxi responded, by the way, my English is not very good. Can the system solve this problem? Can. Based on the English the host has mastered, if another life point is consumed, the host will gain the English proficiency ability. Beyond the system gives a positive reply. Fan Fongxi did not hesitate, then consume 1 life point. Okay, the system has consumed 1 life point and preset the host is proficient in English result. The fate reverses the causal relationship, activates the host's subconscious memory, and the host gains English proficiency ability. Beyond the system reminded. After surpassing the system reminder, Fan Fongxi has realized his own changes. He walked out of the alley and naturally blended in with the pedestrians. He could clearly understand what the passers-by were saying, as if they were speaking their native language. According to the prompts of the Transcendence system, what Fan Fongxi will do next is completely up to Fan Fongxi's own choice. Including how to obtain destiny, how to survive in the world of Terminator 1, etc., everything depends on Fan Fongxi's own decision. Fan Fongxi walked while thinking about the next step. In the plot of Terminator 1, was the Terminator T-800 difficult to deal with? No. In fact, in Fan Fongxi's eyes, the Terminator T-800 was quite backward. Even in the 1984 era, it was very easy to deal with the T-800, but the official power was not targeted at the T-800. If you want to deal with the T-800, You must rely on official power. Fan Fengxi set a goal to use official power to deal with the T-800. It would be best to deal with the T-800 when it first appeared. This directly reverses the fate of the heroine Sarah Connor and the hero Reese, and may even change the fate of John Connor. How much fate can he gain? Thinking about it, I'm quite looking forward to it. But it is very difficult to rely on the power of the authorities. In the original plot, Reese was caught by the authorities. Even if Reese revealed his identity, it would have no effect at all. After all, who would believe in time travel? It is February 2nd, 1984. It seems that the Terminator will come in May this year. Is it only 3 months away? Fan Fengxi calculated the time. There are still about 3 months before the Terminator travels through time. Through normal means, Fan Fengxi cannot rely on official power in any case. After all, officials don't believe in time travel at all, so what else can Fan Fengxi do? Since we cannot rely on official power through normal channels, we may consider other methods. Fan Feng thought about the magical destiny. With just one destiny point, he gained the ability to be proficient in English. If it passes destiny, there may be a slight possibility. It was nearly 4 o'clock in the afternoon. In the coffee shop diagonally across from the FBI's Los Angeles branch, Fan Fengxi was communicating with the Beyond system. If I create a false memory for the Los Angeles branch director, making him believe that I am an undercover agent arranged by him to investigate the Skynet case, and that he trusts me very much, plus he is the only one who knows my identity information, and we agree to meet today, he will prove it for me and restore my identity. How many lives will it take? Fan Fengxi asked. If there is enough time, Fan Fengxi is more willing to slowly make plans and enter the FBI through normal channels to gain stronger control. But there's not enough time now. According to the description of the host, after comprehensive analysis of the system, 12 points of life will be consumed. Is the host sure that the fate can be used to reverse the cause and effect? Beyond system inquiry. Fan Fengxi currently has 18 life points left. If 12 life points are consumed, the number of lives left will only be single digits. Fan Fengxi combed through it again and finally nodded. Okay. Please wait. The system is reversing the causal relationship through fate, goes beyond the system prompts. Almost a minute later, the transcendent system once again issued a prompt. The system has completed causal reversal, and the host will automatically obtain the causal relationship information captured by the system. Fan Fengxi was just about to ask when a piece of information appeared in his mind. The FBI's Los Angeles branch director is Kane Clay, who is 55 years old. His personal image also appears in Fan Fengxi's mind, as well as some historical records of their contacts. While Fan Fengxi was digesting this information, a man with short brown hair, blue eyes, and a general appearance walked towards Fan Fengxi. He sat directly opposite Fan Fengxi and proactively said, "Is your mission completed?" "Yes." Fan Fengxi responded affirmatively. "This is not the place to talk." "Okay, go to my office." Kane Clay stood up directly. Fan Fengxi looked embarrassed. "Sorry, boss, I'm penniless now, so..." Fan Fengxi pointed to the coffee. Kevin didn't take it seriously. He took out $5 and put it on the table, motioning for Fan Fengxi to follow. FBI Los Angeles branch headquarters building. Kane personally led Fan Fengxi into the headquarters building and naturally passed all the way. The agents from the Los Angeles branch looked at Fan Fengxi, secretly guessing Fan Fengxi's identity. A moment later, Kane led Fan Fengxi into the office. He took the initiative to ask, "How much have you investigated about Skynet?" "A lot," Fan Fengxi responded, "but the content I investigated is too bizarre. I guess boss won't believe it." "I believe you," Kane responded in a calm voice. "Do you believe that a time machine exists?" Fan Fengxi asked. Kane said nothing. "Based on my investigation, I believe that time machines exist and time travel also exists. I discovered a huge conspiracy, a conspiracy to subvert mankind." Fan Fengxi continued. "Boss, do you believe this?" Fan Fengxi tested the effect of fate reversal. I said, Fan, I believe you. Although the information you said is outrageous, I choose to believe you. It's just that I need evidence now. If you can produce evidence, you will get my support, and I will get more support for you. Kane responded, T0004 Special Agent. Fan. Inside the office of FBI Los Angeles Division Director Kane Clay. Fan Fongsi responded confidently, Don't worry, boss. I will definitely give you evidence, but it will take me half a year, and I hope to get your support within half a year. Are you sure it's a conspiracy to subvert humanity? Kane stared at Fan Fongsi. Although the Transcendence system weaved Kane's memory of trusting Fan Fongsi, it did not change Kane's personality and logical thinking habits. He remained cautious as usual. I'm 100% sure. Boss, it will take me half a year. Please believe me, I will not betray your trust. Fan Fongsi said firmly, In this case, I hope you will not betray my trust. Kane responded first and then added, What support you need? I need a team of personnel to cope with emergencies. At the same time, I hope that this team of personnel is the elite of the elite. Our enemy this time is very likely to be beyond our imagination. Fan Fongsi responded, An enemy that travels through a time machine? Kane asked. Yes. Fan Fongsi nodded affirmatively. Okay, I can promote you to a special agent, let you lead a team alone, and give you the best of the best. But Fan, remember, you only have half a year. If you don't obtain any evidence within half a year, I must be responsible to DC. Kane said his decision. Fan Fongsi naturally knew that the DC Kane mentioned was Washington, D.C., not the existence that is as famous as Marvel. I understand. Fan Fongsi nodded and replied, The relevant appointment notice will be issued today. Regarding the selection of team members, if you have a person you like, you can tell them in advance. As long as the other party does not object, they can be transferred to your team. Kane reminded, How does Fan Fongsi know who is an elite person? As for the selection of team members, I trust Boss's vision. By the way, Booze, how many people are there in my team? Fan Fongsi asked. Kane rarely smiled. Of course, it's a standard 4-person team. How many more people do you want? Fan Fongsi was slightly disappointed. Without heavy firepower, it would be difficult for a standard 4-person team to deal with the Terminator, even the backward T-800 model. Kane could naturally see Fan Fongsi's disappointment, and he added, Fan, as long as you present evidence, I will increase my support for you. Fan Fongsi took a deep breath and nodded. I understand. Wait a moment. I'll arrange for Tang En to take you around the bureau so that you can get familiar with each department. By the way, you and Tang En can communicate more. He is familiar with everyone in the bureau. You have to select team members. I believe Tang En will give you some help. Kane explained. Okay, thank you, boss. Fan Fongsi responded. He guessed that Tang En was Kane's assistant. 2 or 3 minutes later, a middle-aged man who looked to be in his 30s walked in. He was wearing a suit and leather shoes, holding a pile of folders, and took the initiative to say hello. Boss, what are your orders? Kane quickly explained the situation, then pointed at Fan Fongsi and said, I'll leave this matter to you. Tang En greeted Fan Fongsi politely. Hi, Fan. Hello, Tang En. Fan Fongsi greeted equally politely. Even after obtaining the Transcendence system, Fan Fongsi's mentality is very stable, and he is not as arrogant as Tai Shang-Tian at all. He is very aware of his situation. According to the current situation, if he is not careful, he may stay in the Terminator world forever. Even if the Transcendence system means that he can be resurrected, what if it is based on the unit of billion years? Tang En led Fan Fongsi out of Kane's office, chatting as he walked. Congratulations, Fan. You are about to become the first Chinese special agent of our Los Angeles branch. Thank you. Fan Fongsi responded. By the way, what kind of team members are you going to choose? Tang En asked. Fan Fongsi thought for a moment before answering. It is best to be good at shooting and have experience in field service. You also need to be proficient in driving skills, have strong obedience, and have teamwork spirit. Tang and was stunned for a moment. This request was very high. Can I ask about the target of your group? If it is suspected of being confidential, just pretend that I haven't asked. Tang and asked tentatively. Fan Fangxi had no intention of answering. Tang and understood what Fan Fangxi meant. In that case, I understand. I will take you to get your certificates and equipment first. After getting these done, we will go to the conference room to select team members. Okay. Fan Fangxi received his own certificate and corresponding equipment under Tang En's arrangement.